Headphone review. This one is on another modification to the Fostex T50rp by Mr. Speakers, and this is the Mad Dog. And there's been a lot of this going on for a few years, and I've missed all of it because until a friend sent me two of these ortho or planar headphones a couple days ago, I had never heard one. And now I have two in the house and I have to send them back. But one of these, the Mr. Speakers, impressed me so much that I ordered the $600 Alpha Dog just last night. I'm going to tell you as much as I can about this, but based on all the things that I've read about, let's say the Odyssey, was it LCD3, LCD2, and the amount of variation has been in those samples over a couple of years, and then the Hi-Fi Man, whatever they are, HE500, HE6, and so on. I've never been tempted to order one of those because in spite of the supposed tremendous detail of those planar drivers, it just seemed like they might not be neutral enough, considering what they cost. Anyway, I got to listen to this Mr. Speakers Alpha Dog. Now, excuse me. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Mad Dog. This is pretty incredible. I just described the sound right away. I was expecting something like what I've read about those other headphones, and didn't get that with this. This is very neutral, and unlike a lot of headphones that kind of have a neutral balance, this one doesn't have colorations. I've probably said that about other headphones, but compared to all the dynamics I have in the house, up to $500, and that's, I don't know, a dozen or so headphones. This sounds like you've stripped away about half a dozen layers of fog or whatever. It's just the sound is clear, it's realistic, it's closer to the music. It's flat. There's a tremendous amount of detail, but you don't get the brightness like you'd get if you had an HD 800 like I had for 3 years. You also don't get the thumpy bass and those sort of things, the real strong, warm, ultra warm low end or any of that. But if you have doubts about whether or not there's any deep bass on here, do a little Google search for the Kellogg Auditorium, Battle Creek, Michigan, organ stops, and scroll down when you get to hit to the 32-foot stop where they produce a 16 hertz tone. Then you'll know the really deep bass is here. And so it's an incredible sound. It beats the heck out of anything I have in a house here. And but again, there's no V shape here. It's flat, and you probably won't consider this to be the greatest thing for gaming or for outdoor use. If you want to take it outdoors, you can certainly use some of these portable amps like that Deckware Zen head back here, or even this Biodynamic A200P, which is the same as Stell Kern AK10. So you have a Apple compatible DAC, I think an Android compatible DAC also, and not a lot of power, especially for outdoor use, but good enough for indoor use. And so anyway, I don't think it would be ideal for that, because when you get outdoors or you're on the train, you probably want much heavier bass. But if you want just the greatest audiophile sound for listening indoors, this will do it. So I'm very much looking forward to their new headphone, and hopefully it'll be as good as this or better. The ear pads, I'm going to put this on my head right now just to double check. I seem to remember this fitting very well when I was listening to it. Yes, my ears are not small. They're not the biggest in the world, but they're not small, and this goes completely around. And although it seems like a fairly strong clamp here, when this goes on your head, it feels like I don't know. It feels like you're slipping into a Rolls Royce or something. I mean, it's just amazingly comfortable. And so these are so squishy and deep enough that there won't be any gaps around your head, so you'll get a good bass seal and everything. Pretty incredible sound, pretty incredible fit. I don't know if this is one of the better versions that they make of the Mad Dogs, but you know, if you don't want to spend the money for the Alpha Dog, I don't think you'd be disappointed with these. You could be stranded somewhere for 5 years with these, and you'd be plenty happy, I think. Like I said, unless you wanted that big thumpy bass. Yeah, cable on this guy, and I imagine there's a lot of cable options with these. This end for the headphone just snaps into the left. Okay, I get it. There's a little locking connector on here, and you get that in there, and then you turn it until it locks. Now, because this, I just want to get this back out. Because this looks like a standard mini plug here, I would imagine you could take a generic mini plug cable and just plug it right in there. I don't see anything about this that wouldn't fit. It's just it wouldn't lock. So, you know, I'd have to snap in there pretty securely. And then the other end that they use is a 1/4-inch plug. I have my Grado adapter here, so I can plug into these little amps. And the efficiency is enough, like I might have already said, that it does work with these amps, and you get just enough headroom to have a comfortable listening level, even with low volume tracks. I have some very low volume tracks, and they play at a good level for indoor listening. And but the dynamics, I would say, on these are good enough for indoor listening. But really, I would recommend something with more power than something like that AK10 Biodynamic. This mini DAC, as I call it, the USB DAC that works on computers. I forget what this has, somewhere 150, 200 milliwatts of power maybe. It'll drive them, but I'd recommend something beefier just to get the extra dynamic range out of it. So there we go with a quick look at Mr. Speaker's Mad Dog. Pretty amazing sound, and well made, amazingly comfortable fit. These guys really know what they're doing. So there you go. Thank you very much.